Oh, so here's the guy that speaks weirdly for almost an hour again. There he goes, he's walking again towards the camera. He just turns the camera on, doesn't give a fuck about editing or anything. Hello everyone, welcome to Random Poco. I'm the Russian guy and this is going to be a bit different. I've been running the Project Play Carrier series in Spanish for a couple or 3 years now. And this is not going to be just from scratch an episode of that. I'm just going to make the full review of this. This is the RPC from Warriors Outsystems. This is their take on the JPC from Cry Precision as their military purposed minimalistic plate carrier, sort of. Main difference for me, the fact that they're keeping some things like the skeletal cummerbund and the full molly back instead of going with something like the Slickster. This is not the original one from Ferro, but the copy from Twin Falcons, which usually go with just an elastic, maybe a carry elastic and a slick back. More thought for civilian and or law enforcement vehicle operations and just having a good time, not being somewhere in the hills of Afghanistan or wherever you are. So what they did was they thought, well, you know what, we're going to take the JPC, we're going to take some of the basics, we're going to solve the thing that I hate the most about the JPC, which is the way the cummerbund is set and adjusted on the back, which is basically they put a couple of shock cords in there and you have the cummerbund and then you adjust it that way and then you have everything in the middle and it's slicker, it's lightweight. I understand, I see the point, but I hate it. So they went with something much more modular, comprehensible, and logic, which is standard, something like a 1694 from LBT. You have a flap, you have loop molly. Is it loop? Yeah, loop molly on the inside, and also you have these so you can pass. You don't really need something that attaches to the Velcro on the back. You can just run something through and it will go through because you have these, and then you will just set it on the front. So that's the main difference on the back. The main difference on the front is that you don't have a kangaroo pouch like you would on JPC or 1694. What you have is a 25mm clip panel system, which is the same used by most chest rigs like the ones from Haley Strategic or Spiritus Systems. And I got this because I wanted to try out the MK3. This is not the original one, this is the one from TMC, using some sweet things from Twin Falcons, which are the SMG inserts from the MP9 for the MP9. Also works with MP7, MP5, whatever you want, and the zipper closing for the front. I also use it with the Scar H. However, I flip it. I put the mags on the front and the zipper on the back. That way, the magazines protect the content of the other pouch. So, like the foam, basically from impact of the BBs. This is straight airsoft stuff, not applicable to real life. This is made by Warriors Outsystems, so they make stuff that is basically for the real world, not airsoft replicas, not thought for airsoft. So we have certain things as standard. Of course, you have the 500D Cordura nylon on the main construction of almost all of it, except the cummerbund and of course the molly webbing. NAR treatment, it does specify that it comes with the NAR treatment, but I don't really know if that's made afterwards or it's the one that comes with the fabric, which it comes with the fabric, right? I haven't had the time or the money to see how this looks through nods, but I'm guessing it does not, or just, you know, NAR. You also have, of course, proper stitching. This thing will not come off easily. You have, I think, triple or even quadruple stitching on most of the molly webbing. You have pretty much reinforced on all the edges. You have double and triple stitching on the velcros of the shoulder straps. It does come with the pads and the wire holders, or whatever you call them, but I have them off. I don't really use them since I don't usually have anything on the back, but it does come with them. It also comes with dummy plates, so that's a good thing for airsofters. So yeah, the plates that it has right now are the dummies from Warrior Assault Systems. Look a little bit like this. Not your standard Chinese ones, well, almost, but they come with a olive drab cover on them and are much softer and lighter, so good thing to have for the airsofter. I wanted it because I was using the TacTac from 511. I wanted to get into the quick detachable front panels, chest rigs, and all that stuff that was back in 2016, something new. So I wanted something like this, and I saw that the cummerbund does not attach just with Velcro, well, with Velcro, but with the 25mm clips, which are the same that chest rigs use. So the idea for me was, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this off, I'm gonna get a chest rig, and I'm gonna attach the cummerbund straight to the chest rig instead of the plate carrier itself, like this. And that was great until I found out that I prefer to just use a regular Velcro cummerbund. Well, not a regular one, the one from, where is it? The one from Ferro Concepts, the carry cummerbund from Ferro Concepts, and just close it over the chest rig itself using this molly over here. So there's no need for the clips on the sides, and I ended up ditching the standard cummerbund and just using the one from Ferro Concepts, which is more comfortable, looks amazing, and costs about as much as the plate carrier itself. It cost me around 120 euros shipped, maybe even more, from Tactical Kit UK. Of course, if you are in United States or somewhere near that, you will probably get one of these much cheaper. But then again, there won't be a point of getting this one that's made by a British manufacturer, because, well, you have the American manufacturers over there at fair prices. So if you're looking at Europe, this is a great choice. But for me, it works best with this, and this is not going to be cheap in Europe. So yeah, it gets expensive, and it just misses the point for me, which is why I'm selling it. And I'm right now using the Slickster, the copy of the Slickster, until I get the B20 Beskar from Arsarma, Russian manufacturer. Just want to try them out. They make these copies of everything Cry Precision does, almost. They copy it, just even with the same names. Russia doesn't give a fuck about intellectual property, and I want to try it out, just not right now. So I'm gonna sell this, which is why I'm making the review right now, not in a year or so. But yeah, I had it for a couple of years now, used it almost in every game. It is a great plate carrier. The price, it cost me around 170 euros, something like this. The price is great for what it is. You have all the original materials, the build quality is great, you get the dummy plates. It's good. I mean, it's just good. The worst thing about it for me is that it's not what I want. I mean, I'm looking for something more like this, and I didn't even know it. I thought that having molly on the back was really important for me. Turns out it's not. I thought that having Skeletor, molly, cummerbund was important for me. Turned out it's not, because you can fit the radio, the magazines, and maybe a grenade or two. I mean, you can fit the grenades inside the pouches that come in the carry cummerbund. So that's enough. I'm not using hydration on the plate carrier anymore. I'm not using a big IFAK anymore. So I have all that in the belt. And I thought that if using more heavier mags, like for example the MP9 or any GBB replica, but in my case MP9, I was playing a couple of weeks ago with it using the Slickster, so I only have the weight on the front, and I was running and throwing myself on the ground, usual SMG game style for me, and it didn't even move. I mean, really well built, really well made. This one, similar, but there's something about the Slickster that it feels like it gets to your body, and they're the same size, basically. They use the same plate, approximately the same concept, but applied differently. So this is, of course, your more military styled minimalistic plate carrier. This is more law enforcement style for me. Maybe if you get the advanced Slickster in multicam, or even the regular Slickster in multicam, thing will change. But I just like it a lot, and I really like this one a lot as well, but its time has come. So what I do, as I said, I'd rather just show you, since I have everything here. So the reason why I don't need the system is because I'm not running the cummerbund as you should. I'm doing a little bit different, so I don't really need the clips, the 25mm clips on the side. In fact, I don't need them at all, because I thought that I would need to fixate the chest rig to the sides with some clips for the weight and whatnot. I've seen many people doing it, so I thought, well, I'll have to close the plate carrier, then put the chest rig on the plate carrier, then attach it again from the sides. Thought this system was good for that. It is, but I'm just going a bit different with it. I use AKs most of the time. Usually I would run the AK using this front panel from Ops. You can find them at Eurotactical. Again, if you're from the European Union, Eurotactical and Ops, great manufacturer, great prices, great quality, love it. But from the US, you have all the choices. So I just run 3 mags for the AK, and if I had to use a traditional approach about closing the plate carrier, I'll have to pull this up, and the mags will be in the way because they are longer. So the way it's designed for AR mags works wonders, but for the AK they're way too long for it. So every time I put it on and every time I take it off, it will be a pain in the ass, which is why I wanted to get the clips. But then found out that just closing up the cummerbund over the mag pouches was quicker, simpler, and it looks much cooler. But also you get extra retention from the cummerbund itself. Still an elastic cummerbund, you get another elastic piece for retention for that, and also it brings everything closer to the body. And this is very notable when I'm using the MK3 and I'm usually running either nothing on the front panel or my phone. So whichever thing I'm doing, it's not going to take much bulk on that front end of the plate carrier, and closing it, the cummerbund over it, just squeezes it a little bit, brings it closer, feels slicker, moves less, more retention, just everything. And if you adjust it properly, you may think, well, and how do you re-index the magazines? No trouble. If you can do it without closing the cummerbund over the chest rig or over the panel, it's going to be the same if you do close it over the panel. So that was my solution, and I found out that I just love it. I've told this to other people that have tried it, and they said that it was not their cup of tea, but preferences and options, and you can do both without going crazy with mods or whatever. Just close it up and that's it. So also, being the elastic cummerbund, full multicam, even the velcros, what I liked about doing this is that I don't really care about the color of the front panel or the chest rig, which is why, without hesitation, I bought the MK3 in khaki instead of multicam or tan or coyote or green or whatever. I don't have anything in this camouflage, in this tone, but since I'm closing it over, the only thing you see in khaki, the only thing that may stand out a little bit, is just this tiny whiny piece of moly, or of webbing, of nylon, but still it's gonna be the magazines over it, so you won't even notice. Great thing. Same happens when I put that on the green one on the flip. In fact, I did this last weekend. Was running the AK with some 7.62 type real cap magazines. If you haven't seen it on Instagram, you can go ahead and check it out. It's Russo/Crudo. You'll find the link in the description as usual. And yeah, you see something, but it's not enough to just get that attention from you. So yeah, overall, if you want to run the chest rigs on a plate carrier, the more traditional way of, you know, closing the cummerbund behind the chest rig and then attaching the clips, this one will save you a lot of time. It's comfortable with the standard cummerbund, but nothing to do with the one from Ferro Concepts. I mean, this thing, it's expensive, but it's worth it. Seems stupid. Just a couple of Velcros and some webbing on down here, a couple of more stitches and more Velcro and, you know, the rubber itself. But the comfort, the way it really gets, it won't move. It will stay there, you can breathe. It's perfect, and it's well built as well. So highly recommend this cummerbund for any plate carrier that will take it. Not you, JPC, or any other Crye Precision plate carrier, I think. The Airlight, I think the Airlight won't take it neither. So yeah, it's not a perfect design, but at least they made it in a way so you can do something with it to make it your own, which is what I did, only I want to try other things. For example, this one is not compatible with the AVS system from Crye Precision. So what you have is, you have three ways of attaching pouches on the front of a plate carrier, or front panels or chest rigs to that front of a plate carrier. You have your standard molly, which is what everything has. Well, you have four ways actually. You have standard molly, you have the kangaroo pouches and inserts, which is an older thing for the 6094 and the JPC, for example, they have it. Then you have the 25mm clips, and also you have the AVS system, which basically it's a combination of molly and Velcro. And what happens is you would have these types of molly in the upper side of the plate carrier when it has nothing on it. Usually four little 25mm straps that come in here, which are Velcroed. They will attach here, and then the back side will also have Velcro, and you will attach it all the way. And difference will be, it's a little bit more pain in the assly to put on and off, but you don't have the clips in the middle. Some people really don't like to have those clips in the middle. Think about them. I don't really care. I mean, I understand why. You have them right there where your magazine is. It's in the middle. When you're running, you throw yourself on the ground, you may hear the sound. I understand it, but for me it's not a big deal. But this one, for example, has both systems. It does not come with the clips, but you can get them fairly cheap. Quickly detachable, same one as here. You can detach almost you can just detach this too. The side clips are not detachable, and that's a big mistake. What you can do is you can just cut them off and get any other, these are UTGs, no, UTX. You can get the ATW standard clips, 25mm, it will work, right? They're compatible. There's these ones that come with a little cut, so you can put them on and off. and they stay in place. Many people have done this to many pieces of equipment. It's not like, well, and if you're an airsofter, you don't really care. You're not jumping off planes on a daily basis, so nothing wrong there for you. Overall, for 170 euros, from what you can get in Spain, and you can get them fairly easily. At least 3 shops have them in stock right now, and I think in all colors. It's great. It's a bargain. I mean, most people still prefer the DCS, and I understand why. However, I think the DCS they have to remake it. They have to make the DCS 2.0 or something with a front panel that will have these. Just take the whole front panel of this and copy it for the DCS. Just like that. Maybe add the molly up here, but the lower part, the one that attaches the panels and everything, just copy that. And great plate carrier. Many people, I don't know anyone who has one and has complained about it, so that's a good sign. But it's basically a 6094 without a kangaroo pouch. So also, why does it not have a kangaroo pouch? If you're not putting the clip system, you're not using the AVS system, at least put the kangaroo pouch on there. You just have molly. You have to stick with standard molly pouches on it, which is more bulk, more weight. It's not catastrophic, but it's not cheap. I mean, it still costs you around 200 quid for the DCS. So it's not like they're cutting a lot from the price by not doing this. Also, Warrior Assault System has then made the LPC, I think, which is a weird combination. It's like an RPC, but the cummerbund uses the tube system, and it's very expensive. It's much more expensive than this one, and I don't really see why. I mean, both plate carriers, the LPC and the RPC, still in production. You can still find them in stock in most European shops, but one is almost 2 times more expensive than the other, from the same brand, same materials, and I don't really see where is that price jump. So yeah, I think Warrior Assault System needs to go again and review the designs of the plate carriers. However, this one I think is a good one, and for the price it's wonderful. DCS maybe not that much, because you can still find 6094s used, however, for a fair price. Mine was about 200 quid as well. Very used, but it's a beast. Oh yeah, maybe the DCS is a good choice, but still, it's a pain that it does not have the kangaroo or any of the systems. It's a very traditionally designed plate carrier. So for that, older designs, you can go ahead and see what's in the second-hand market. Older models, you can maybe find something really good at a really good price. For the newer designs, you may think, well, I want to have this type of technology on my plate carrier, like the clips or whatever. However, it's not something new. It's I think it was 2016 when the boom for the 25mm clip system was. So you can still find a lot of used stuff like this. You can have APCs from Mayflower, I think, used in Europe for around 150, 120, which is fair. You can find stuff, right? You can find, if you want a JPC, you can find JPCs. I think last one I saw was around 200, 250 secondhand, maybe even less, maybe even 180, depending on the camouflage generation, this and that. But you can find them at affordable prices. Great plate carriers. But this one is good as well, and just didn't do it for me. I think that's it. There's not that much that I can say about it. I mean, well, the ventilation and the padding on the inside is really good. Much better than the one in this one. This is much simpler, but still much slicker. Of course, you probably would be able to wear this for a longer period of time regarding the ventilation than the other one. However, this one cuts when the plate ends. This is made so you can protect the plate from the water. and I think they're quite sensitive. Some plates are sensitive to it, so this is made that way. Again, military in mind. This one, it does open up a bit, so you get extra ventilation at the cost of plate protection. Similarly to, and I saw this in Garantham's comparison of the JPC 2.0 and the Airlight, both from Cray Precision, and it said that. I said the Airlight has that ventilation on the top, the JPC has it on the inside, or was it the other way around? I can't remember right now. So that may be an issue for some and a advantage for others. Keep those things in mind. Try to see how it looks on the inside, but this is not only more breathable because it's thicker, so air has more space to flow. It's harder, so it's not that easy to press it against your body and just block that airflow. It also seems very durable, so that's a good point for it. Also, this one comes with the extras of the shoulder pads and the wire catches, the tube that you can use for the wires and the thingies that go on the back. If you want to use that, I don't. I mean, not even with I'm not using that much weight on them. I mean, just a couple of GBB mags, it's nothing, but you'll get used to it. Even if you're running more stuff, even if you're running like 10 kilograms of stuff on the plate carrier, you could get used to it without shoulder pads, because people do get used to it, right? So eventually you will as well, unless you're a pussy. Also the cummerbund, of course. Most of these skeletal MOLLE cummerbunds, what they have is you can attach pouches from both sides at the same time. This one does as well. What it has is you have two MOLLE straps, one on each side, those 25mm MOLLE straps, and then you have like a little plasticky thing going in the middle. So that thing has two main uses. First one, of course, is give it the stability, give it the structure, and the other one is to separate, to be that frontier between the webbing of the pouch you're running on the outside and the pouch you're running on the inside. Very important if you're using side plate pouches, which will usually run on the inside, and then maybe the IFAC, water, radio, whatever on the outside. Again, with the radios, with this one, and I went over this in the video I made in Spanish about communications with this plate carrier, the comms setup I run, and which is extremely basic, right? And what I do is I run the radio here on my right side, since I'm left-handed. I run the radio just here, run the cables somewhere over here, and have the push to talk in here where it's supposed to go. Simplest option you have, and you have full control of the radio. You can adjust the volume from here, you can take it out, adjust the frequency, just see if it's on or it's off, how much battery you have left without the help of anyone. Saves a lot of time. And if you're moving, you're doing reconnaissance, or sometimes even in urban environments, you have to cover by yourself a lot, and you have the closest friend you have is something meters away, and you have to do this thing with the radio right now. Having it there makes a difference, instead of having it somewhere in the back, which some other people do. Yeah, feel free to. And this one has a problem with the standard setup of the cummerbund. As you can see, the clips close behind the Velcro, behind the plate. So if you're running a wingman, which is basically a pouch that's attached to the Velcro of the front panel but goes on the side, it would just flap around in this case. So what I did was I took the wingman, I folded it over, and I attached the hook part of the Velcro of the wingman to the loop that you have inside here, and using a rubber band I attached it around. This is the gypsy way out. It works, but it's the gypsy way out. You already spent $170 on a plate carrier, or euros, or whatever. You can get something like a 10 plus gear radio pouch, which is a single MOLLE attachment, and you can attach it right here and it will work very well. Great pouches. If it's a handheld radio, like, you know, Baofeng, any Motorola, Midland, or what most airsofters use, 90% of airsofters, maybe 80, it will go fine here. And the other thing you can do is basically run the chest rig. If you're running the chest rig and you attach put the wingman, close it up, and then you attach the standard cummerbund to the chest rig instead of to the plate carrier body itself, you will have the Velcro portion on the inside, and this way you can run the wingman. The other way around, you can't. So keep that in mind, very important, because for me, plate carrier is 3 mags or 2 mags if it's 308, 4 mags if it's an SMG. Maybe the tourniquet, dummy purposes, and the radio. Couple mags and the radio, couple mags and the radio. For other people, it's couple mags, radio, hydration. Couple mags, radio, grenades, hydration. Couple mags, radio, IFAC, hydration. But you're always gonna have the comms going around the plate carrier. I think is the best place to put them on, because you have that push to talk and you have it all in the same thing. You can run the radio on the belt, but every time you take the plate carrier on and off, you have to reattach the plug of the push to talk. And that's a pain in the ass. And I also tried running the radio on the backpack once and attaching the push to talk to the strap, and it works as well. And every time you have to tweak something with the radio, you have to take the backpack off, and you can do this. So when you're running patrols, maybe something slowly paced, you can do it, but not the best choice. And also, if you take the backpack off, you have no comms anymore. So maybe not the best choice as well. I did that on the only 48-hour Milsim I went, and that was quite an experience. Radio didn't bother me using it like that. So that's basically it. I'm selling it right now. I mean, probably I'll sell it to someone from Spain. I just said it in the last video I made in Spanish, but it did serve me well. The only thing that has any sign of wear on it is the straps for the push to talk on both sides from running the wires over and over again. This is Gen 1 multicam webbing, which is not the best for keeping the structure, but the best for keeping the color. It's my favorite still, because it has a couple of, you know, a couple of threads are off. You can just take a lighter. It's still nylon, I mean, basic stuff, but nothing has broken, of course, nothing, it did not turn me down. That's a good thing. So yeah, I recommend it if you understand what are the limitations of the design. If you don't understand what are the limitations of the design, and you're just watching this, you should by now. If not, rewatch it again. And if you still don't see the limitations, hit the comments. So as usual, comment section is the place for you. Ask your questions, leave your feedback, suggestions, everything. That's everything for today. Thank you very much, and hasta luego. There he goes again. He's off.